guys, it's Michelle Patterson here with Ella Vaughn, and today I wanted to just do a quick little story time about this last travel experience I had. Okay, so I'm gonna do, it's part story time, part review of the Detroit, Michigan airport, okay, and things that you might want to know, especially if you're gonna fly Southwest. I was not aware, now I've dealt with this in New York. I think LaGuardia Delta has their own hub and it's in a completely different building and whatever, but I was not aware that the Detroit airport did this. Southwest Airlines is in a different building. Okay, this is important, imperative information for you to know because I did not know that. So when I got dropped off at the airport, I went into the main terminal, spent about 45 minutes in the security line, went through all this stuff, and I come in and my gate's not listed anywhere. As a matter of fact, I don't see any Southwest Airlines anything. And I go up and there's this like pack of airport employees just standing there, and they're actually kind of complaining about the passengers, which was so unprofessional. But I kind of barreled up on them and like, hi, I need to know where this gate is. And the guy looked at me and goes, there is no gate D or whatever it was. I'm like, okay, you have more information on that or what? Well, what airline is it? It's Southwest. Oh, that's not here. What do you mean it's not here? I really had to pull to get information. So what ended up happening was I had to take a shuttle. I made my flight by 5 minutes. Okay, it was horrible. It was so stressful. And I can't believe me, like I travel several times a year. I can't believe that I got I can't believe that happened. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm so good about that stuff, about looking it up and making sure I know where I'm going, so on and so forth. So anyway, I had to go through the hotel, and I forget what hotel is there. It's a Westin, I think. And the hotel, I got all turned around within the hotel. P.S. for the Detroit airport, there is a security entrance when you go through the hotel, okay? So I think it's if you're hitting the A gates, that might be an option for you. It's not always open, but that's a little traveler's tip if you have to go through Detroit. Just always go down to the hotel first, see if that A gate, if you have an A gate flight, see if the A gate security line is open instead of standing in the other security lines, okay? Just a little heads up. But anyway, so I'm trying to find my way out through this hotel. I'm getting turned around. Finally, I had to go get a hotel attendant. I'm like, where do I go catch the shuttle to get over to Southwest? So she basically walked me to the door. I'm standing there forever waiting for this shuttle. I mean, I was getting so stressed. I can't even tell you. It took like 15 minutes for this dumb shuttle to get there. And she finally picks me up. And bless this woman, she's sitting there talking to me, the driver. She's talking to me about my bag that I'm traveling with. Oh, I love your bag. And she's looking at it. I'm like, will you drive? Oh, turn around. Okay. Put your foot on that gas. Go, girl. I need you to go. No. It was like seriously like 3-4 minutes of her just sitting there. Now she might have had to sit there to wait for more passengers. Maybe that's what was going on, but I was stressing out. So finally we get going and she pulls over to this like parking lot. She goes, oh, we're not there yet. Oh, and it was taking forever. Like not even forever because I was stressed. Like literally I was timing it. It took us 10 minutes to get from the main terminal over to the Southwest Airlines area. So I had to go through another security line. Thank God nobody was in there. But as I walked up on the security line, some airport employee just walked right in front of me. And I'm thinking, oh, girl, today is not the day. Today is not the day for this. No, you got to move. And so finally, like, it was like this whole debacle, and I had to get all my stuff out, and I'm doing this whole thing, and she walks right in front of me. And I pick up my bag, and I walk around her, and I stick it on the belt, and I go to the guy. I'm like, can I go in through? He goes, oh, she's got to get to her shift. Let her come on through. I'm like, ugh. Whatever. Okay, fine. I'll give you a pass on that. She's an airport employee. Okay. So she goes on through, then I go on through. I'm literally, this is another TMI alert. I am running to the gate because the flight's now going to take off soon. You know what I mean? I am like running. Or I'm thinking it's going to take off soon. Running. So I am wearing, when I travel, I just wear leggings. They wouldn't dare kick off a woman my age for wearing leggings. You best not. Of course, I'm not flying United. Never fly United. They are horrible. I don't like what they stand for. Never, never, never do it. Don't do it to yourselves. Anyway, I'm wearing leggings, right? And I'm wearing just a normal, again, TMI alert, but I think I have mostly female audience here, so you get me. I'm wearing just a regular bra. So I'm running. I'm falling out of the top of my bra. My pants are falling down. My shirt is, and the whole time I'm like trying to tug on, like this is not an outfit you wear for running. This is why I'm kind of convinced like maybe I should just wear activewear when I go to the airport. And I cannot tell you, I am so happy I was not wearing heels that day, which is kind of a bad idea to wear heels when you travel anyway, in case, God forbid, if there's an emergency. You shouldn't be wearing heels, especially if you're wearing heeled boots. That would be difficult for you to get off your feet to run. And even if you were to manage to get them off your feet, God forbid, if there's an emergency, you have to get off the flight, you're leaving, let's call it debris, basically, in the aisles that is going to trip up the person behind you. Just don't wear heels on planes. And actually, people have done studies, and they're like, part of the problem when they're trying to do those emergency slide things, women who are wearing, or even men, if you're into that and you're wearing heels, your heels can poke a hole in those things, those slides. No good. Don't do it. So I am so glad that day I was not even wearing like a short stacked heel or anything like that, because I had my hiking shoes on and I was able to run, besides my clothes falling down and whatever. So I get to the gate, and the only way I made my flight was because it was delayed by 15 minutes. And of course, I wasn't able to keep checking. And I come up and I'm like out of breath, like everything's flopped out of the top of my shirt, basically. I'm trying to get myself all together. And I finally made it. I got onto the flight. Now, the thing was, though, and I said this in another video, my Southwest Airlines review, I couldn't get to the restroom and I had to go bad. Again, TMI alert, but I had to go pretty bad. And by the time I was able to, the flight had taken off, we were at a cruising altitude and the air was smooth and whatever, I get up to the bathroom. As soon as I got in there, the plane starts bouncing. And I'm like, no, it can't be. Why? Make it stop. Not now, please. Any other scenario, but not now. And this stupid light comes on in the bathroom, and it's saying like, please return to your seats. I'm like, you're out of your freaking mind if you think, no, it's not gonna happen. So I just was like, just focus, just focus. I was in there for like less than a minute, but still, it was like a whole thing. So I'm like having to get back to my seat, and it was one of those things like the air was so rough that people kind of had their hands up in case I were to, topple right into them or whatever. But yeah, so that was like my stressful little thing with that flight. But for Detroit, the airport itself, it's actually quite lovely. And I know people are like, isn't Detroit kind of a rough town? I don't know. I'm not from Detroit. I fly into Detroit because I'm from Northwest Ohio. But I have a special place in my heart for Detroit because it's Motown, baby. It's Motown. And, the people that work at the airport, I'm usually just taking a flight in or out of Detroit. I've never actually hung out in Detroit proper. But just the people are just usually really cool at the Detroit airport, for the most part, the employees. And it's kind of, the airport's kind of an ode to the Motown theme, and they actually have really great shopping. It's a cool little airport. So if you're looking for, if you have to do a layover or something like that, don't avoid the Detroit airport. Because the reason why I say that is because I remember when I lived in New York, I had this boss. She was awful. She was terrible. Okay, she was just terrible. And she would stick her nose up in the air and be like, I'm not flying through Detroit. Are you crazy? I would never. I'm like, it's a nice airport. It's a very nice airport. They actually have a red shuttle that goes back and forth from the gates that you can use. It's a lovely airport. There's nothing else I can say about it. The employees have always been lovely. I've never had, I can't think of any bad experiences. The restrooms are always nice and clean, and it is a little stretched out, so that's why they have that train going back and forth, because if you try to walk, you're walking forever. For example, from if you get out of a Delta flight, you have a long way to walk to get to baggage claim. Just be aware of that. So I've always told people that if they're going to come pick me up, give me a minute from the time that flight lands because it's going to take me a long time to get down to baggage claim, right? So it's actually, like I said, a lovely airport. That boss, she was wrong. She didn't know what she was talking about most things, but especially this. So don't avoid it. It's a cool place. You do want to be made aware, though, that they are doing construction, and they have been doing construction for a while. I'm recording this on, what's today, December 12th, 2017. So if you're watching this in the future, I don't know if it'll still be going on. I don't know when I'm going to end up getting it loaded. I'm going to edit and all that stuff. It's pretty bad. I don't know if they're trying to make a parking lot or what they're doing there, but just be aware there's, quite a bit of hubbub kind of going around there. A lot of congestion. One of the things that really bothers me, and this bothers me about most airports, police are patrolling, okay? You're not supposed to just sit and wait for your passenger. You're supposed to loop around. They will allow, I don't know what it is. It's like they pick and choose who's allowed to sit there. Because I always see people sitting there waiting. I'm ready to hop in the car, but like my family can't even get over to get me because all these people are just sitting there waiting on somebody who's not even there yet. Do you know what I mean? Like if somebody's standing at the curb, they should have a place to pull over, you get in, and then you go. As opposed to you just pulling over and going, well, they might be here in 15 minutes, but let me sit here. No, unacceptable. You're taking up too much space. You don't have a right to do that. Move it. And I hope you get a ticket the next time. And I know that sounds harsh, but I don't care. Like I am so sick and tired of almost getting hit because like my family's stuck in a lane that's like, three lanes away from where the curb is. And I'm trying to get to them because they can't move. And yet, one car tries to zoom out around another and they almost get me, forget it. I'm not interested in that story. So anyway, don't avoid the Detroit airport. It's a great place. I do love it. I will say the Detroit airport, there were a couple of employees that were congregate. I can't remember if I said it in this video or if I said it in the Southwest Airlines video. Southwest Airlines is in a different hub. You should be made aware of that. There is a shuttle that goes over there, but it takes forever, so don't do that to yourself. Right? Just remember, don't do that to yourself. So my only complaint was like those airport employees, the few that were standing there. Other than that, every other time I've had, it's a lovely place to go. I find it kind of stress-free. They do have security down on like a sort of like an in-between floor. So, you have that option to go through. You have the hotel. Sometimes it's open, sometimes it's not. And then there's the main security line. So just be aware of that. And I think that's it. If you have questions, just let me know and I'll do my best to answer them. So thank you for watching and take care.